everyone. My name's Marilyn and I'm going to be teaching a few lessons for beginner ukulele students, especially children. That doesn't mean adults can't learn too, but it's especially for the children. Each lesson I'd like to start with some sort of musical story because I think that's also kind of fun and part of music. So the first story today is called Mole Music, and it's actually talks about violin, although we're going to be learning ukulele. Mole lived all alone in the underground. He spent his time digging tunnels. At night, he ate supper in front of the TV and then went to bed. Mole liked his life, but lately he'd begun to feel there was something missing. One night on television, a man played the violin. He made the most beautiful music Mole had ever heard. I want to make beautiful music too, Mole said to himself. So the next day, he sent away for a violin of his own. Every day, Mole checked his mailbox. No violin. Finally, after nearly 3 weeks, it arrived. Mole was so excited. He picked up the violin and drew the bow across the strings. But instead of beautiful music, all he made was a horrible screeching sound. Mole tried again. The violin still screeched, but not quite so horribly. Mole kept at it. After about a week, he could play one note, then two, and before a month went by, he could play an entire scale. Mole continued to practice. He learned to put the notes together in a simple song. Years went by. Mole got better and better. He was happier than he'd ever been. During the day he dug tunnels. Mole hummed the music he would play at night. Now Mole played even better than the man he'd seen on TV so long ago. Sometimes he wondered what it would be like to play his music for people. He imagined himself playing before a huge audience. He imagined that he played for presidents and queens. He even imagined that his music could reach into people's hearts and melt away their anger and sadness. Why, maybe his music could even change the world. Mole laughed at himself. How silly I am, he thought, imagining that my music could do all that when no one has ever even heard of it. Mole played one more song, then he put down his violin and went to sleep and dreamed beautiful, peaceful dreams. That's a story called Mole Music by David McFall. Now, you know what I liked about that story? I liked the fact that he had never played any instrument before, and then he started out and it was a little hard and he couldn't play it very well and it was a little screechy, and then he practiced and practiced and pretty soon he got to be able to do something really neat. So what we're going to do in our ukulele classes is to play songs that you can learn and that people can sing to, and you can play for your mom and dad. You can play for other people just like Mole wanted to. This is a ukulele, and this ukulele is called the concert ukulele. It's a little bit bigger than some and not as big as others, but this is called the concert ukulele. And I'd like to share with you the parts of the ukulele so that you need to know what it is you're playing on. We've got the neck right here. We've got the peg head. These things are called pegs, the tuning pegs. We've got little metal bars going across here, and that's called the frets. This little white thing up here, that's the nut. We've got the strings, 4 of those on the ukulele. We've got what we call a bridge here that the strings are connected to. And then where we put our fingers, that's called the fingerboard. Now, how should we hold our ukulele? Well, you may be right-handed or left-handed, it doesn't matter, but we're going to hold the ukulele in our right hand because our left hand is going to do all the work. And we're going to hold it straight up against our belly, and we're going to hold it right in this sort of position, like this. what we're going to do is we're going to strum down across our ukulele, and we're going to play all 4 strings. And what we do is we call that a chord. And that chord is made up of usually 3, if not 4, different sounds put together. And we are going to start by just trying to play a nice, steady beat. So what we'll do is we're going to hold our ukulele in our right hand. We're going to just hold our hand on the neck of the ukulele. We're not going to try to put our fingers down yet. Just hold your neck right there. And we're going to strum nice, even strums. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll show you first. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have you hold your ukulele just like this. Remember, that's going to be in your right hand. That's going to be the part that holds onto your ukulele. And some of you may need to prop it down in your lap, and that's okay too. And your left hand is going to hold the neck of the ukulele just like this. And you're going to strum down with your thumb. And I'm going to count 1, 2, ready, play, and then I want you to play and strum with me. And when I'm ready to stop, I'll say 1, 2, ready, stop. So we're going to see if we can do a nice, even strum. And here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, stop. Good. Now that was with the side of my thumb, and that was going down from top to bottom. You can also play it with the back of your first finger. If you want to use your fingernail, you can use your first finger. Oh, and by the way, for the piano players in our midst, we count our fingers 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't count our thumb when we play the ukulele. So it's just 1, 2, 3, and 4. So our first finger is our pointer finger, our index finger, and we are going to strum down like this across the strings. Again, from top to bottom, all the way down, using our fingernail. Makes it a lot louder. We can do that. Okay. So let's try the same thing. This time we'll do it with our back of our first finger. And then just on that nail, and see if we can get all the way across, and we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4 again. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, stop. Nice, nice. Now the most important part about playing a ukulele, or really probably any instrument, is to keep that time nice and steady as we're playing the rhythm for our songs that were coming up. So we have 2 songs that we are going to do today, and we need to learn 1 chord to go with that. So now we're going to be placing our fingers on the neck, on the fretboard. These are the frets, as we said before, and in between the frets, we call that the fret space. So between the nut and the first fret, that's our first fret space. Our second fret space is between the second fret and the first fret, and then our third fret space is here by the third fret. Your finger needs to go in between, right in that space, and your finger needs to be up on its tip when you're playing. Rather than laying down, if it's up on its tip, it won't run into any other strings, we hope. Now, I put my elbows kind of in against my side, and I put my thumb in back of the ukulele like that, so that the only finger that's showing right here that I'm going to touch my ukulele string is with that third finger. So we've got 1, 2, 3, our third finger. and we're going to put it in our 3rd fret space. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put that in our 3rd fret space. And I'm going to press that down with the tip of my finger like that. Now, what I have is a chord. And I have a very beautiful C chord that I'm working with now. So, let's see. Hold your ukulele in your right hand. Put your 3rd finger in the 3rd fret space, 1, 2, 3, that bottom string, and that's actually called the 1st string. We count the strings from the bottom up, so that's going to be the 1st string. So we'll put our 3rd finger on that 1st string, right in between those 2 frets, and we'll put our thumb in the back, keep our elbow down, and we'll see what that sounds like when we strum it now. Wow, it sounds a lot better than it did when we were just strumming like this. That sounds kind of funny, but this one sounds really good. That's called a C chord, and the songs that we are going to play use only the C chord today. So, what I'd like you to do is try strumming a nice, straight, and even C with me. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, stop. Nice, nice. Now, you can always rest your finger a little bit because you're going to get a little bit of a line on your finger. What I do is I just kind of rub my thumb and my finger that I'm playing with together, so it kind of helps if my finger starts to bother me a little bit. So let's try it again. We're going to put 1, 2, 3, our 3rd finger in that 3rd fret space. And this time, instead of playing with our thumb, the side of our thumb, we're going to play with our 1st finger. Remember, we're using the back of our 1st finger, the fingernail. Okay? So let's try that. It'll be a little bit louder this time, I think. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, stop. Excellent, excellent. Now, no matter what words it is that we're singing with, our strum is always going to stay a nice, steady strum and a nice, steady beat. That's what keeps our song moving along. So I have 2 songs for us to try today, and hopefully you would know both of them. I changed them just a little bit so our C chord will work. So we're going to listen carefully with our ear, and we're going to see what we can hear with our first song. That's going to be Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Are you ready? Here we go. I'm going to play it first, and I just want you to listen and see how it's going to go. I'm going to count 1, 2, ready, play, and then I'll play it and sing it for you, and you can watch and see how the strum goes. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And I'm going to stop the strings by just laying my hand against it, just like that. Wow. So, that is your first song, and I think most of you know that song. So let's try it. Let's see, we've got our ukulele up against our belly. We've got 1, 2, 3rd finger on the 3rd fret and the bottom string, that 1st string. And we're going to strum either with our thumb softly, or if you want a little louder, play it with the back of your fingernail. Okay, let's try Row, Row, Row Your Boat. You can sing it with me, or you can just strum along with me, whichever works for you. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And rest your hand. Good job. Good job. I think that went pretty well. Now, the other song that I would like you to do for me today is Are You Sleeping? Are you sleeping, Brother John? You may know by different words. You may even know the French words for this. And I'll play it once for you, and then you can see if you can play along with me. Same thing, we're doing just our C chord, just our one chord. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Brother John, Brother John. Morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing. Ding, ding, dong, ding, ding, dong. Now, I am going to take a minute to show you what not to do, just because that's what people often do when they're learning to play an instrument. When they're singing the words, they want to strum the words, so they might go, morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing. But we're not going to do that. We're going to just keep a nice, steady beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the time. Okay? So, pick up your ukulele if you haven't got it in your hands. Hold it in your right hand. Put your left hand up here. You're going to put your third finger on that 3rd fret space. 1st string down at the bottom. Put your thumb in the back. And you should have a nice C chord. Here we go with singing Are You Sleeping? Okay? 1, 2, ready, play. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Brother John, Brother John. Morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing. Ding, ding, dong, ding, ding, dong. There you have it. You have 2 songs that you can play already using just the C chord, Are You Sleeping, and Row, Row, Row Your Boat. So you practice those songs for the next few days. Try to remember the parts of the ukulele. If you can, we'll review those next time. And we'll remember that we take really good care of our instrument. We wash our hands before we play to get any grease or dirt off our hands so our ukulele stays nice and clean. And we take really good care of it and keeping it away from little brothers or sisters that might want to play it for now. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.